Basic military training at the age of 51. For several months now, Marta Yuzkiv has been spending her Saturdays crawling through the ice and mud with a dummy rifle, learning how to protect herself from enemy fire.
All the stuff that you could just see on the movies or on the documentaries, they seem very simple, but in general, when you started to do it, it's quite difficult because you need to know how to do it correctly, not to be in danger for yourself and for your colleagues. So it's quite important skills. Very basic, but very important skills.
Marta Yuzkiv is a volunteer with the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces. The reserve units practice emergency drills. If war breaks out, they're expected to support the army behind the front line. Most of the weekend warriors have no prior military experience.
We know that every single person could change something, and every single person could be hurt. And on the other hand, we also know that when we join, we could be quite powerful. And I think Ukrainians are very good at this.
But Marta Yuzkiv is no adventurer. She leads an ordinary middle-class life in a house just outside Kiev, with a garden and pets. During the week, she works from home for a company that conducts pharmaceutical studies. But she believes her comfortable life is now under threat. Russia has occupied Crimea for nearly 8 years and is supporting separatist forces in eastern Ukraine. Now, Russia's threatening an escalation.
It's almost impossible to imagine what will happen if I have to leave it, if I have to just fight and it will be destroyed. It could happen. I'm trying to be ready for this because definitely I don't want to preserve this on the price of being live under occupation.
Marta has also convinced her husband, Sergei, to join the volunteer brigade. They're convinced they can make a difference.
They have to understand that this will be really painful for them. It would not be like easy walk through our country. They should evaluate it. Okay, so we try to do this, but it cost a lot for their country, and this should cost a lot for them.
Every Saturday, they both put on their uniforms and head to the woods near Kiev to meet other civilian volunteers. The Territorial Defense Forces were founded several years ago. Now, they officially report to Army Command. Some instructors have military experience. Others have picked up some basic skills here, a kind of on-the-job training.
Why are you standing so close to each other? If I were to throw a hand grenade, I'd hit both of you right away.
If war breaks out, the reservists will get behind the front line to secure buildings, provide logistics to the army, carry out identity checks, and possibly even deal with hostile infiltration. The situation's seen a dramatic escalation in recent weeks. In Ukraine, there are fears that Russian troops might cross into Ukrainian territory at any moment, and Ukraine would be left to fend for itself.
I don't expect the West to support us by sending troops. It will be up to us to fight for our country. But the West could provide us with the necessary weapons, which would help us a lot.
One thing's for sure, the weekend warriors have attracted a lot of attention. Marta is keen to explain her motivation to journalists from all over the world, even if that means the enemy now knows her face.
It's important not to be scared, honestly, because I am in my country, I am not doing anything wrong, and I'm just trying to protect my country. So it's like truth on my side.
Everyone here is well aware that Russia's troops are militarily superior to Ukraine's defense forces. But Marta and her fellow volunteers are determined to stand their ground.